What's the frequency?
Usually me too.
What's up, guys?
Hi.
We are live. Okay, we good there. Oh,
Hey,
turn that off.
What is it?
It's the monitor.
Oh,
is it still going? Wait, am I
can
on
you
the
hear
right one?
us?
Oh, I'm on the other one. I'm on the other one. Oh, never a dull moment.
Well, we're always trying to get this, she says, going right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Honeybee Awakened. Monday.
Is it Monday? Yeah, it is Monday.
We only did it on Tuesday last week because of 4th of July.
Yeah, we had other stuff going on, so
Yeah.
but we're here, we're back, and then next week you're gonna be gone on vacay.
Going to Arizona. Aliens.
It might just be me. I was out by myself.
And I'll be beamed up.
You might be. It is.
Shut up.
It is Arizona.
My hair's falling down. Okay, there we go. I know.
And go like this. Am I good?
Yeah. Okay. Hi.
Hey, so for all of you out there who are just now joining us, we are Melissa, and we are Honeybee Awakened. Welcome to our channel. And this is basically where we get to talk about everything that has to do with awakening, spirituality, spirituality. Here we go. Soberly totaled. Haven't even started yet. Spirality.
Yes. Cosmos.
The cosmos. Just everything to do with awakening, shadow work, light work. And if you have any questions at all, please, 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 if you're watching live, put them in the chat. We're watching here. If you are tuning in later, definitely leave us a comment. Like the video if you do, and subscribe to our channel so that you can get the notifications. And we'll let you know when we're going live each week. And we'd love to hear your questions that you have. This is something that we put together to try to help other people that were having questions about their own awakening. We talk to people all the time that don't have any idea what they're going through, and they think that they're going crazy, and really they're just having an awakening. They are hearing their spirit guides or aliens, or just having some kind of transition in their life where they're starting to question what they have been programmed to believe, and that is basically an awakening. So we are here to help you guys through that with our experience and our knowledge. We don't know everything, but we do have a pretty extensive toolbox on all things awakening. So
if nothing else, we can help you not feel crazy. So there's that.
There you go. And sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes that's all you need.
So the way we start this out is our free flow. We just kind of talk about, crazy shit that's happened to us throughout the week, because we have almost every single week there's something crazy that happens. And I think this is one of those really big things that helps you guys not feel so crazy. Yeah. So I have quite a few, and you've got quite a few. Do you want to just kind of bing bang?
Sure.
Me go, you go, you go, me go.
Bing bang boom.
Bing bang boom. All right. So I'm going to start with the first thing that happened to me this last week, and that was after, I think it was the next day. Yeah.
After the video?
After our last live video.
Oh.
When I woke up that next morning. And some of you might know, but I posted it on Facebook, but I had to write it down because it was way too much. But here's what's crazy. So you know how you're like dreaming, and then all of a sudden you kind of come out of that dream
That's when I get
but
all
you're
my messages.
still in the dream, and you're like, what is happening? So it was like,
Where am I?
What's going on? So it was like that. And even whenever I wrote it down in Facebook, or like I sent it to you first thing, actually she was the first one I sent it to you, to see and to feel what I felt was completely different than writing it down. Here's what I felt. I felt like I was a teensy little being and these ginormous, huge presents, because I couldn't see anything. It was dark. But I could feel them way up high. And they're like this, talking down to me at this big rumble. And there's like 3 or 4 of them. And I'm like, the whole time they're talking to me. Okay, I think I got it. And I kind of like consciously come to, and I'm laying there, and I'm like, what in the hell? What? And then it ends, and I'm like, I always ask my higher self, and my higher self does this weird pull thing. But I was like, was all that real? Did that like, is that really that message? Is that message real? And it was like, yes. And I was like, okay. Got up and I just started typing it all down. So I'm going to read it real quick.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy. So here, I'm going to say it like they said it to me. Here is what we meant by repent and walk the kingdom of heaven. In your hearts, you all need to apologize to each and every person and living creature on earth. Mean it. When you do, this will wash you clean. By this we mean you can walk knowing you are good, feel good, and at a higher vibration, meaning you are walking in your own heaven. If everyone does this, imagine all the world at a higher vibration. Kingdom of heaven! That's how they said it. Do you understand? Do you understand what we're saying? She just realized it's probably in her stuff too. Repent in your heart, say you're sorry to one another, and the earth will be heaven. So real quick before you go.
I'm going to cry.
So somebody said, so I have to like say I'm sorry to every single person on earth. What that means is living with just like a forgiven heart, like a love, just love, a love for every single thing.
Yeah.
You know, someone walks up to you and is a total dick. You're just like, I love you. It's like that opa 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 homo opa homo. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
I'm sorry. What?
It's a Hawaiian like guru.
Oh, okay.
Hopopono no or something like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And
We'll
maybe
we'll look it up.
But it's like, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you, or something like that. And you're supposed to say it over and over and over to yourself. If you're angry at somebody, whatever, just like constantly throughout the day. And you just start to have this like in your heart. But anyway, so that's kind of what I got from that. But let me tell y'all, it was crazy. Now, how does that correlate to what you were going to say?
Well, I like how
Kingdom of Heaven.
Kingdom of Heaven. Okay, so I'm going to touch on that in just a second. But I was feeling like this way around, 2013, and I even wrote a poem, and it was basically like if we could all see the world through a childlike mind, where, you know, children, they just love. You know, yes, if you do them wrong, they turn into little sociopaths, and they're like, no, my candy now.
Yeah, but then they love you like 5 seconds.
But they love you like children they want you to love them too. But they have such innocence. And then the whole, Kingdom of Heaven. So I remember how I told you that I was rewatching, David's, YouTube. He did this whole, the Leo King, he did this whole Rising Through the Darkness is what he called it, and I definitely recommend it. When I do my homework, I'll put it in the description box, I swear. But I was somebody like reposted it in our little Facebook group, and so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna rewatch it. So I'm rewatching it, and I actually took a screenshot. Here, I'm gonna pull it up so you can see it. And it talks about, it's got the little sine wave, kind of like how, like, through the zodiac, this is what the transitions are doing. This is where we are on Earth and through the cosmos, how we're traveling. And we're about to go into from the, the
depths of hell.
I mean, it's kind of what it's felt like. So we've been in the kingdom of world, and we're about to go into
Holy shit, the kingdom of...
the kingdom of heaven.
I love confirmation.
And you haven't even watched this. And I haven't even talked to you about this because I was like, I'm gonna rewatch it. And so I just rewatched it today, this morning. And so yeah, we're about to go into the kingdom of heaven. So right now we're in the zodiac, you know, we're in the Pisces.
You have to keep that because we're gonna get to that later because I love what it says there. So Yay!
That's why I was like, oh,
that's cool.
Yay! Oh, I'm so glad that we like discovered that like live.
Yeah, we have little nuggets all the time. Okay, what happened to you
this week? Oh Lord,
I know it's a lot.
So I went to the beach this weekend. It was really great. I needed to get away big time. Actually, I stopped by that little store that I posted about, Christina's World. Oh, so cute. So many cute things. And she's going to get a lot more. But we were like, we need to help you because you don't have any exposure. You need to get on Instagram. So I took a picture. I showed her how to do it and descriptions and stuff. But I bought this beautiful lapis beaded bracelet. I got these little earrings.
Okay.
I think they're turquoise. Yeah. Yeah, it's turquoise. I couldn't remember. Oh.
Turquoise is kind of like an opening to the spirit world.
Yeah, well, let me tell you what.
Like we need any more.
Like we need any more. That's why I'm like, like if I got completely, totally, like 100%, like I didn't drink any alcohol at all, and I was sitting up on a hill doing my chants. Like, I would float away. I would literally float away. I'm way too connected.
There's a reason I drink wine. It is to keep me grounded.
Yeah. So.
Because it's just crazy.
It is crazy. So I went to the beach, and it was a very, what's the right word? I felt so just, it was almost like this static. It wasn't dynamic. So if you're in any kind of audio engineering or, you know, film industry, whatever, it was very like, very still and very in the middle. And I could just see everything. I could see every aspect of the world, the 3D world, the physical stuff that we have here. And I could also hear and feel all of the spiritual world. And so I was just there. And even the weather was kind of like that. Like it was sunny, but there was this haze. There was tons of ocean spray coming in. So it was sunny, but it was like this weird softness over it. I don't even know how to explain it. But anyway, so we get back and I'm completely sunburned. And last night's dreams were insane. The main point of the one dream was obviously apocalyptic, which I have a lot of. And this one was these giant ice formations. They weren't round. They were chunks of ice just coming down, and people were like having to hide and run from them. And now that could have been influenced by, you know, the stuff that I watch and everything. But then this giant thing of, I don't know what it was, but it had ice on it, came through the atmosphere. You could see it coming through the clouds, and all of a sudden these ice chunks were just coming down, and everybody had to run and hide. And I had enough time, and there was enough energy left in the atmosphere where I could make one phone call. So I called my brother to make sure and tell him, get Jordy, get down to a bunker, like hide, like get down below, way deep down in the earth, because if anything big comes, it's gonna blast and it's gonna, like, you know, cause chaos, you know, probably hundreds of feet down, if not more than that, if it's a huge chunk. and that's even if you survive in the wake of it, but it was like, get down underneath something. And so I woke up and I was like, oh shit, you know, I need to write this down. I didn't write it down because it was so powerful. I was like, I'm going to remember that one. Then I needed to go back to sleep. I was exhausted after that. I was like, I didn't sleep. That was somewhere else. I was traveling. So then I get to the second dream, and the second dream was it was much more personal, but it was about this complex. There's all these underground tunnels and underground hidden rooms and stuff, and there was passcodes to get into things, and you had to be of a certain background to be able to get into those places. And I was like, I woke up just thinking, oh shit. I don't know if or when that's going to happen, but what did you have something happen with ice?
Well, not necessarily. I was doing that because of that video that we saw with the ice storm. Like, because all the stuff, and then, like, we'll have so many days of, like, ice.
Yeah.
No. So, you know, I had that QHHT. So QHHT is quantum healing hypnosis technique. It's Dolores Cannon. I'm certified in it. And I had a client come in last week, and she has these apocalyptic dreams and visions. Like, there's not just dreams. Like, she'll just be sitting there, and in her meditation we'll have these visions. And she's talked about, like, crazy storms, people on fire, literally on the road, just burning up alive. And and so she, I didn't tell her about any of this because I was like, I don't want to influence her session.
Yeah.
So we went through, and by the time we got to the spirit guide part, she actually had an alien guide, and the alien guide pretty much said, like, yeah, no, this is all for real, and we're doing these attunements to people like you, and then talking to me, people like you, and we are getting you prepared so that you can go and start these communities. So weird. Now that I'm, like, saying it out loud, it's so weird. But that you can start these communities for the ones that'll survive, and the ones that'll survive are going to be at a higher frequency.
Yeah.
Like the code thing, like, you have to go, you'll, it's really weird actually, because sometimes yours are very literal, but I see the outside view, and I'm like, makes sense to me. Like, you have to get all these codes kind of programmed into you so that you can go here, here, here to get where we need to go so that we'll be able to survive. And whether any of that's true, I have no idea. I hope not. I hope,
you know what? Disclaimer: we don't know if any of this shit's true, but there's a lot of stuff that's happened to us.
Yeah.
And if you follow any kind of QHHT pages, or if you follow Dolores Cannon, there's too many coincidences. There's too many stories that.
Well, and it's not even that, because, like, now you can go online and you can hear the Dolores Cannon. So who's to say she didn't come in hearing
the thousands of people that did the sessions before the internet?
Correct.
They all said the same thing. So,
but, like, even now, what's interesting about it is, because I'll listen to other people's QHHT sessions as well, and they are still very similar, but they all have their own kind of spin on it that kind of puts their life into it. I don't know. It's really weird. But so with that said, it was very interesting that I got someone like that, because you always have apocalyptic dreams. And it was the first client that I've ever had that actually had apocalyptic visions and dreams, and then had a spirit guide talk about them. And it was interesting because
my sessions, I've never had anybody talk about it.
Yeah, I've never had anybody. And she was, even what she talked about before the session versus what was actually said in the session was completely off. Because when you have visions and dreams and stuff, sometimes we're a little too 3D world and too literal. It's very, you interpret it as very literal. Yeah. And it can be pretty on point with that, but at the same time, they might just be giving you kind of like little, movie scenes or whatever. Like, here's possibilities. when really
Second.
it's like, oh, I think this an example, like in your vision, you knock off a cup and it spills and it breaks and the glass goes everywhere. But in reality, I don't know.
Well, in reality, maybe you got emotional on somebody and it caused a fight and it caused a breakup.
Yeah.
Like that would be something like that.
Yeah.
But, I was going to say something about that. The whole, what was it? The literal thing versus, oh gosh. What was I going to say?
Give it to her. Don't fail us now, guys. We're alive.
What was I going to say, y'all?
Oh, should I move the camera? Sorry. Are we still good? We're good.
I think we're still good.
The literal interpretation of dreams and visions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we were talking about. And you were like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. And then you had to go check us. But, I mean, you constantly have dreams and visions that...
Oh, yeah, I remember now. Okay, so I also do remote viewing.
Yes.
And anything that I've ever done that I've been good at, I've always been drawn to it intuitively. I was never trained as a photographer for the first 10 years of my life as a photographer. Mm-hmm. And then I decided, you know what, I'm going to go and kind of mold this and fine tune it. And then with remote viewing, it was just something that it came after some really intense chanting and meditation sessions. I was able to locate objects. A friend of mine was like, I can't find my camera, and I was able to find it in the back of her car, and she was like, no, I've already looked. And I said, well, it's there. It's underneath the blue and gray backpack, or something blue and white or blue and gray. So we get back to her apartment. She looked in the trunk, and she turned around, and she just heard, like, she looked like she saw a ghost. Her jaw dropped, and she pulled out her camera, and she was like, how did you do that? She was like, I have looked everywhere. I've looked in here. It was not here. And I was like, I don't know. I felt where it was. And so from there, I was able to realize that that's a kind of remote viewing. So when you do remote viewing, or anything like that, telepathy, psychic stuff, you're given these visions or feelings. Like I'm also given temperature and texture and smell and taste and just all kinds of things that come with it. And because I'm a human and I've been here on Earth for almost 40 years,
Aged
40 years for your pleasure. We have it's called noise, and you have these things that your mind wants to interpret it. So if you saw something that had black lines, one person might say, oh, it's a fence, when it's actually like a curtain or blinds or something, so you just say it's dark, it's got lines that go up and down like this. And now if there's a feeling to it, like if it's cold, metal, whatever, then you can describe that. But you never want to say, oh, it's a building, or it's a tower, or it's an armoire, or it's a microphone. You don't ever want to say it's something specific. Yeah. So that's very similar to that, because in our dreams, we're also interpreting what we've been given. And so that's why whenever I wake up and I have the dream, I just say what the dream was. And then maybe later those things.
But I'm so proud of you, because like when I first met you, you thought it was very literal.
I did.
And you were like, we're going to die. And I was like,
oh my God.
No, we're not.
Dude,
I was like, you don't know. And now you're taking that into account. So
Yay. Well, you were part of that growing process. So after my first QHHT session with her, holy shit. I mean, me and Birdman were like, all right, truce.
Yeah, she had a...
You let me do my thing and whatever. He's part of my ego. It's fine. He can stay. He helps with certain things. Yeah. He helps me to like... He's kind of like you. Like you're an Aries. You're like, come on, let's go. Raw. That's what he's like. oh yeah, you want to go do this shit? I'm like, whoa.
Calm down, Birdman.
Calm down, Birdman.
Yeah.
All right. So do you want to move on to the buzz?
Yeah.
Okay. So, how did you feel? How many times have you watched Ruteki?
Ruteki.
How many times have you watched Ruteki?
I only watched it once today because I also had to listen to his Mega Monthly report because I didn't.
Oh yeah.
I didn't listen.
I know. I need to
week.
sign up for his service. I'm a bad lady. Sorry,
Yeah.
Ruteki. I'm gonna be apologizing to somebody in every video.
But yeah, I did, and it was very interesting because a lot of what he was saying, just for me personally, kind of rang true. Like I think this month is very much for me about family, kids, and relationship, along with creativity, and really feeling it. Like, where do I feel that all is at? And I struggled a little bit with it last week, but I feel like this week I'm like, okay. And he said by the end of the week, I think Saturday, I will have a decision made, although I may drop something.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. I think I know what it is, though. It's nothing that big a deal. But it's just like, I think it's more of a mental thing.
More of
like an idea.
An idea how you feel about something, like, and just be like, you know what, that needs to go over here.
Yeah, like an idea that I was always thinking that this is what I'm gonna do, and I think that's kind of going, like, I wouldn't say it's going bye-bye, but we'll see by Saturday. It might be bye-bye.
Stay tuned.
Cutting that shit out. But yeah, I mean, we're getting ready to hit Leo. Well, you said no. We're still in Cancer.
Yeah, the sun's in Cancer right now. So Mars and Venus are in Leo, and that is what, like, so for Wateki, so his whole theme this week was like the fertilizing of the egg. So when you have Mars, the masculine energy, and then Venus, the feminine energy. So you've got positive and negative, the kind of like the pusher, and then the receiver. And then you fertilize the egg.
Oh my God.
We weren't gonna get through this one without some kind of perverted, laughy something. Oh Lord.
Yeah.
So we're fertilizing the egg, and it's kind of like, it's like we're bringing to life all of these things that are going to be a theme in our lives for, I think, the next 10 years or so, maybe more. Because, in 10 years we're gonna have the apocalypse, and we're gonna have to move to the mountains and shit. So
and all that won't matter anymore. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, it's going to matter a lot, but
yeah, no, it is. So the whole Leo thing is with Mars in Leo and Venus in Leo. It's very much like, what does your heart want? Mm-hmm. What does your heart want? Because Leo is the heart. Like, I mean, Cancer is like feeling and emotions and all that, but Leo is like
it's
the
leading
courage.
It's leading with your heart.
Leading
right?
with your heart, yeah. And so while the sun is still in Cancer right now, but it'll be moving into Leo the 22nd, 23rd. That's the cusp of Leo.
Totally makes sense. That's why last week I was all protecting.
That's very Cancerian.
Family.
Yep. Yeah, especially your family. I help you.
Push that hater off.
But the Cancer it's when we're like, if you feel the need to just like cry for no reason, or maybe there's tons of reasons and you're just like, I just want to cry. That's totally Cancerian. And then, because most Cancers, most of them, they have this, and it's one of the moons of, is it one of the moons of Jupiter or Saturn? But it's Calypso or Calypto, something like that. And it's like, it looks solid on the outside, but underneath it's just this churning, spinning ball of all of this stuff, and that's Cancer. Like on the outside, they're like totally chill, totally cool, but underneath there's lots of emotion, fear, insecurity, all that going on underneath. So if you have any Cancers in your life, the sun's in Cancer right now. It could be affecting them where they like all of a sudden start telling you about all the things they're feeling, and you're like, what? Or maybe they get brave and they're like, okay, I'm going to act on my feelings. So it depends on where their Mars, I think, is. But anyway, yeah.
Cool.
But when we get into Leo season, y'all watch out, because rare.
Get him, Leo.
I got him this weekend.
I always forget. Okay.
I danced a lot. I even found a pole. There's always a damn pole. I found a pole. I danced on it. It's fine.
Did our lions on our... Wait, what? Anyway.
I hung out with some of the people that are in this
Some
similar
frisky
group.
critters.
Well, it's so funny. They were all like, "Oh Lord," and I was like, "Oh, y'all got to meet the real Melissa last night. Okay, yeah, woo." Patricia. It was Patricia. It wasn't me. That was Patricia. But and then what else as far as astrology?
That's all I got through. I mean, King's on tonight, so
yeah. So yeah, definitely. You have to. Did you want to talk about the kingdom?
Well, we can do that as we lead into the next thing, because it kind of... See, I knew that was going to happen. I said that,
Bee's
didn't
knees,
I?
spirituality
I
versus
said it's going to
religion?
flow in. I just know it. So yeah, our bee's knees is spirituality versus religion. And this one's a...
And now are we going to talk about, like, can you still be awakened and be religious or be of a certain background? Or are we going to talk about what we mean as spirituality versus religion?
What we mean.
Okay.
I mean,
and
you
know
can
what?
do whatever the fuck you want to do, but...
True. And I think that a lot of people that are having an awakening come from a certain background, a certain belief, and now all of a sudden they're starting to question that, or some things have come into their life that force them to question it, and now they're like, what the fuck do I do?
I think, yes, and that can be from either side. That can be a religious side or the spiritual side. Because
no matter where you came from,
it's
a
all
change.
going like this.
Yeah.
And we're figuring out, it's all the same thing, but both are very man-made, right? Both kind of those backgrounds are very man-made.
Yeah.
Spirituality is like anything spiritual, but like if you want to talk like yogis, right? Very either on the Buddhist side of things or the lost it. Gata.
She's special. She's real special. She even snorts when she laughs.
What's the other yogi?
Buddhist?
Hindu, thank you. What is the book I'm thinking of? I can't think of it. She snorts too.
Fuck,
Not just me.
The Bhagavad Gita.
Thank you. That's like the bagaga. Words are not my friend today. Or any day.
What's your Mercury in? Mercury.
I
sounded like Lateki there. Oh my god, it drives me nuts how he says Mercury. He says Mercury.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
And Ernest.
Like, say Mercury. Say Mercury, bitch. Say Mercury. It's Mercury.
I saw a shirt at Target yesterday that says, Mercury ain't got nothing on me. I was like, I need that shirt.
What's your Mercury in?
I don't know. We'll figure it out later. Anyway, so...
Mine's in Cancer.
So what I'd like to start off, because I do want to get to the...
I want you to write that down so that we can just look at it.
Okay.
I have my...
They can't see
stuff
shit.
down. I know.
It's probably a good thing. So you were going to talk about the Leo King and his rising through the darkness and how it said the kingdom of heaven. So what pulled out to me just on that picture you showed is it's like the kingdom of worlds and then the kingdom of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says with a line right here, like and the line says right here, Christ risen.
Yes.
And so here's the thing. Don't tell me anything about what he said because I haven't watched it yet. And
it's a 5-hour long thing, so.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely watch it.
But I just wanted to say this because this is kind of what I've channeled. And it's kind of like this. Sometimes we're like, hashtags real Christians, right? Because like the second coming of Christ and Christ rising and all that, it is a consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
It is of a ridiculous high frequency. There's only been so many, and in my book I even talk about this, how it's a master. They have mastered being a human. They have mastered it completely, and that's really freaking hard to do. I mean, people go through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lives in order to do that. And then once you've mastered it, you don't have to be there anymore, right? Then you're your higher self. So somebody out there's got Christ as their higher self. So badass.
Nice.
But really, your higher self has mastered it all. That is the Christ consciousness is your higher self. And so the best way to explain this is
I have my own thoughts on it.
you can totally go for it.
Thank you.
Do it.
Well, so I come from, like, I was born into a Catholic family. I was baptized Catholic. I had a I guess it's they are christened or whatever, a godmother and a godfather. I never did communion or anything like that because my mother went through all that and she did not like that background and that type of childhood for herself, so she didn't force it on us. And my dad, he was kind of like, I don't really care. I just read the Bible and, Jesus is my savior. But we would all go to church with our family in Central Texas and, on major holidays and stuff like that. But we never went to church on Sundays. Sometimes we'd go with friends to like Methodist and all that stuff. But it never resonated with me. Never did. I was taught to pray every night and say, in Jesus' name I pray, so that way he could hear me. Because if I didn't say that, then he wouldn't hear me. But that's how I was taught. So my entire life, I was given this kind of instruction on how to connect with God. It never resonated. I never got it. And then something really weird happened, and I'm not going to go into that right now because it's a whole other story, but it made me question everything that I was taught. And that was when I was 20. So for the last 20 years, I've been going through this really rough, rocky awakening. And it's been intense. And in 2017, that was a year that a lot of weird, crazy stuff happened. And I'm looking at my chart now to see like, oh, that's why. But in 2017, I came across Dolores Cannon. And the video that I watched was like a 2-hour video of her sitting on a stage and just telling her story. And it was the closest thing to God that I had ever heard that actually made sense for me. Mm-hmm. I'm crying thinking about it. But it was around the same time that I found David, the Leo King. And then I found out that, that was around the time my mom got sick. And then she died, and I found out that his birthday was the same birthday as my mom's, and lots of little things that kind of like were like chirping at me, like, hey, we're talking to you. Do you hear us? Do you see us? Do you see all these things that are starting to make sense and synchronicities and stuff? And it was like, okay, I hear you now. I'm listening. This makes sense. And then I started studying astrology and really getting into tarot. And then also finding the Essential Kabbalah. It's by Daniel C. Matt, I think it's right here. Like what I have it. Yeah. The Essential Kabbalah. And Christians are like, oh no, there's no other God but Jesus, and
Must be a cult.
Yeah, like it's and
Plane.
That was a plane?
Mm-hmm. It does that sometimes.
That's so weird. But the fact that, and I want to do like a whole video on this because I want to make sure that it's not just me and my mind trying to like put things together, and I'm pretty sure it's not, but when I started learning about all of these things simultaneously, I started to realize, like, wait, the Sephiroth has got the Tree of Life, and it's got all these little pinpoints, and all of these points correlate with a planet. And all of those pinpoints and planets correlate with a chakra. And all of those things correlate with a tarot card. They're all like, judgment. The sun is at the solar plexus, and it's right down there right before you get down to the earth energies. First is the root and then it's the earth. But anyway, they all correlate. They're all like, you could do a layer map, right? And on this layer you've got the Sephiroth, on this layer you've got the planets, this one you've got the tarot. And then if you look into any other religion, Christianity, even Hinduism, you'll see all the same correlations. The masculine, the feminine, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, like it's all there. It's all the same. And when I realized that, I was like, there is no religion. There is only how we connect to God and how we practice that every day. And we have been forced to separate that and say, I'm spiritual or I'm religious. And religious means that you are a Christian or you are a Buddhist,
must follow these
or
rules.
you must do all these things. And it's like, no, I must do this. I must focus on, what I intuitively know. But anyway, when I started studying all that, and I started realizing that everything is basically the same. I mean, even the chrism, even the spinal fluid, it takes 2.5 days to rise. And it's cleansed as it goes through your body. It comes up and it gets cleansed up here in your, is it the pineal gland where it gets cleansed?
I think so.
Or the thalamus, somewhere up there. And then it goes back down into your body. Well, Christ has risen? I mean, shit. It's all the same. It's somehow, some way, each religion has separated it all in order to control the masses, and here we are, like, but it's all the same.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my spiritual. What is it? What did I say?
Spiritual.
Spirality. That's my spirality versus religion.
Yeah, I mean, very good points. Totally.
Maybe it'll help someone who's having that, that thought process. Like, well, I feel like it's the devil's work, or I'm going against.
So that's where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go into that.
Yeah, and that's knowing all of the light, the dark, the spectrum, all of the Sephiroth and how that's connected to all that. Like, I know where the devil is, and that's the ego, and it's on that little point right there.
Mm-hmm. So my points on this are going to be that I grew up with religion, first Catholic. My stepdad made us do that, and I hated every minute of it. And then separated from the church, and then came back on my own into the Baptist community. No dancing, no drinking, no nothing, right? Which is fine. But if you hear stuff in the background, that's my daughter watching a show. Just get over it. She's not going to turn it off. But anyway, the religious aspect of it all was kind of hard to swallow in the beginning because, you're judged for every single thing that you do. But then you're also forgiven for every single thing that you do, right? So I think she's trying to figure out if we're hearing stuff. Are you trying to figure out?
I'm just checking.
Oh. No, I lost my train of thought.
Sorry. I'm the sound man and the cameraman.
So,
Woman.
You're judged for everything that you do. You are also forgiven for everything that you do.
Yeah.
Just by asking for forgiveness, right? No, responsibility taken for it. And that one, I think, was the hardest one that one of the reasons
is it because you're giving it all up to God and you don't have to do anything about it.
There's no responsibility. So like, if you steal, you're stealing from somebody, and then you're like, if I just, God, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. And then everybody's like, you're forgiven, it's fine, you know. And then it's like, do better.
Yeah, do better, and then you never really do.
There's no responsibility for it. So the difference there is in like spirituality is what's wrong because you're in yourself, right? Your higher self.
If God resides within you,
the God aspect of you, right? The God aspect of you. When you are connected to that, I tell you, it's really hard to do anything wrong. First of all, that some of the shit that's being told in the religious communities is bullshit. Like don't drink and, don't dance and don't have sex outside of marriage and all this stuff. And I'm sure I'll get backlashed by it all. And I'm sure it's all the devil. But really,
namaste,
motherfuckers, because the devil really is just your ego. It is your ego that is telling you, when to do things that are of a lower vibration, that you should feel guilty about what you're doing. You should feel, I don't know, lust or whatever, all these big Bible words that there are. That is all from your ego. And once you're spiritual and you're connected to your higher self, you can tell. I don't want to kill bugs anymore, and I hate bugs. But
yay! Oh yeah, the locust.
Yeah, but I don't want to harm anything. And I tell you what, when I was a Christian, I would step on a spider with no problem. I didn't care about that spider. Many of them.
But now you love spiders.
But now I'm like, get in the cup so I can take it outside.
You're still, you still embody the idea of Christianity.
Well, that's what I'm going to get to. So, yes, I kind of grew up with that Christian mentality. I definitely fell hard into it in my 20s, and I have a great love for the church. I have a great love for my church, friends, family, all of that kind of stuff. Like I do, and there's no judgment on my part at all.
Me and Jesus are like this.
Well, here's the thing:
need church for Jesus
is I don't need church to be one with God. I don't need church to be one with Jesus. I actually feel like I'm closer now than I ever have been before because I have learned that we all embody that in ourselves. We are the Christ consciousness. Christ is risen. Christ is returning. He's already here. It's already happening. The more that we open up and awaken to it and embody that we are God, or we have that aspect of us, and we have the Christ frequency, and I can heal people with my hands. Other people can heal people with their hands. You can see things, you can hear. I hear all the time from my God self that tells me, tell you what repent is, and I'm like, whoa, okay. But here's what I want to read you. So this is from that Paul Selig. How
you spell it?
Selig.
Selig.
And he talks about the higher self, pretty much, what your higher self is, and the returning of Christ. So he says now the Christ frequency, as it is understood now, is a high one, and it has been misappropriated, entitled by most people who have assumed it to be a Christian basis in religion, and a religion, unfortunately, that has received alignment to the wrong mindfulness of men throughout time. And once you bypass the religion and you understand that the Christ is a consciousness, is a frequency, is an offering to man from the Creator to align to, then begin to have different experience of understanding who you are. There can be no Christ in man without man's aligning to it. We have free will, guys. It is there as a silence until it is awakened. And when it is awakened, has one duty, which is to seek itself in realization. No one is without the Christ. It has not bypassed anyone. And there is, in form, a way to access this frequency that will be understood as we continue to transcribe our stories. And he goes on and on and on. But I read that and I was like, this is what I've been saying for a long time, is that's why I say hashtag the real Christians. Because when you take away this separation, which is really what religion does, it separates you from Christ. Christ is up here and you're down here and you got to do all this stuff and be very thankful. But no, we are supposed to be just like Christ in that frequency. And it's so freaking easy. It's literally a matter of just saying, all right, I trust. Boom.
Yeah.
Done. Oh, I can heal with my hands?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. I'll try it.
He was a badass. Like, he went off to go learn basically how to be a shaman and to channel God.
Yeah, he went to the Essenes.
Yeah. And then he comes back and he's like, by the way, guys, look at this. I'm walking on water. Check this shit out. But, like, even if you're one of those people where you're agnostic or an atheist and you're like, I don't believe in that stuff. Well, somehow, some way, there was either a practice, an entity, an actual person, something that they named Christ that said, if you do these things, you'll be free. You'll be allowed into the kingdom of heaven.
Which is here.
Which is here. So it doesn't matter if you believe in that or not. Somehow those teachings, even though they tried to molest it and just change it into something that they could control you by, like,
that's
oh,
what
you
it was.
have
It was
to
a
do this
control
and you have to
thing.
do that. Jesus was like, don't bow to me. Don't name me.
Oh my
king.
God, so much.
He's
so
like-
much in
he's
there.
like,
He's
just
like,
go be
stop it.
Just go be a hippie and use herbs and shit. You'll be fine.
Yes. You want to turn water into wine? Manifest that shit. We like wine. But seriously, you're right. He says it so many times.
He was a badass.
He even said, "Don't follow me."
Yeah. He was Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
He was Jewish. But when I started like reading like the little excerpts from the Torah, and then correlating that also, fit in with the Kabbalah and the Sephirot and the tarot cards and all that. Oh, I was just like, wow. But anyway, so spirituality versus religion. And if you are having any kind of issues with that or starting to question, or maybe
one way or the other,
maybe you've always questioned it and you're looking like you're actually like, if you're here watching this, you have found a point where it's like, okay, this might provide some kind of answer as to what direction I want to go. Maybe it doesn't resonate and doesn't make any sense to you. Then that's not what you should be doing. And you should go and follow what you're supposed to be doing. Because right now, that's what's the matter with the world. None of us are living in our truth. We're all spread out. We're trying to be and do and just make money and be a battery for the system. We're not living in our truth. And we're not out there doing what we're supposed to be doing. And that's why it's all misaligned, because we're all connected. We all need to be in this together, helping each other. And once we all get in alignment with that, even if it's something where if I don't agree with you and you don't agree with me, but you're doing what feels good and what resonates, and I'm not talking about like egoic feels good.
I was just going to say, we need to write down, I think one of our next topics should be ego versus lower vibration, like the devil. And
I don't know, it's
demons.
a bad thing coming in. Well, it's probably like we were talking about earlier.
Birdman?
No, with the carnival lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like how it could be a past life karmic thing.
Correct.
That it's just
that your ego brings in.
It's residual energy that your ego brings in. Maybe it's related, to your family history, because we all, like, our cells carry over crap. You are carrying around your grandmother's shit. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's just from that.
It's been proven, actually.
Yeah, that's scientifically proven. Mm-hmm. We got a few minutes left. Do you want to move on to pulling some cards?
Yeah, sure.
So we're going to move on to the hive mind, and we're going to pull some tarot cards.
You want to channel this time? I'll tarot, you channel?
I'm not a good channeler on the spot.
How about you channel after I pull in?
When a lot of my messages come through, usually either through my dreams or in the morning right after my dreams. I still need to find out what prime atomic means. Prime atomic numbers. It keeps popping up and I'm like, I don't know what it means.
Prime atomic numbers?
Prime atomic. So there's prime numbers, and then there's atomic elements and equations that consider that, but a prime atomic number, and they were very adamant and very...
Oh, shit. Oh.
They're like, yeah. Oh gosh, why?
They wanted that one out. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pull. How many did we do? 3, 4?
Well, we tried to do 3 once, but they wanted 4.
There's like 10 down on the ground, so you want that one.
It's the Ace of Cups in reverse. Nice booty. She's got a nice booty on that card there. I don't have it on autofocus.
Oh.
I still haven't changed it.
It's good booty.
She's got a good booty. Let's see what kind of interaction we have.
Phoenix.
Right. Are you on it too?
No.
Otherwise, we got 2 more people.
What up, bees?
Hey guys, say hi if you're in the chat.
All right, so here's what we got. This is for the collective. We have Ace of Cups reversed. We have 8 of Swords upright. We have Knight of Wands reversed. And then we have the Devil card. Followed by, well, I think this is like an overall, it's Tower reversed.
Is it Tower reversed?
Mm-hmm.
You know what's cool? Look at that freaking eyeball.
So these cards I always read. Like, I know you're very, like, a little scientific on your tarot. Like, you know your shit. Mm-hmm. I'm very much a intuitive reader. So the Tower reversed on here is almost like this is like, 3D shit's going down, like your life's going down, not your life, your job's going down or something like that. And this is almost like
it doesn't
ego
have to
or
be, it doesn't have to be this major catastrophe. It's more about what you think.
Yeah, it's like breaking down some of your beliefs maybe or something like that. So Ace of Cups reversed. That's not Ace of Cups. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a 1 and it's a cup. And she's got a nice booty.
Huh. See, I've never read that for a collective. And then we got our little suitor here. Well, that's a good sign, I think. Not everything else. So at least there's that.
I have my thoughts, but I'm gonna let you give yours.
I'm gonna say, like, we're kind of like waiting for this magic moment. This magic moment.
Yeah, I get that with this too. The 8 of Swords.
So it's like we're waiting for this magic moment. This to me, yeah, it feels like we feel like we can't get out of whatever we're stuck in. Remember, we've been stuck for the past few weeks. We've had tons of cards that have said that in the past. And it's like we're still...
It's a standstill moment.
We're still here. We're just kind of like waiting. What's going to happen now? Which I guess, I could see that worldly. Like, what the hell's going to happen next? Then we have the Knight of Wands reverse. I love this one. It's one of my favorites, actually, because it's got the Phoenix rising. So it's like we want to take this path to something new and rise out of these ashes, but then we got the Devil, and it's like, no, we're gonna stay stuck and chained up. And I always love the Devil because you can totally take the chains off.
You can take the chains off at any point. And look,
don't.
She's not taking her chains. She wants to just like stay like victimized. I'm blindfolded. I can't do anything about it. I'm not gonna listen to my intuition. I don't want to take that step and move forward.
And everybody else is keeping me stuck.
Yeah.
And then you've got your tower of like the ego. So maybe like some shit's gonna happen that is not gonna have a choice.
Oh.
It's upright too. Then we got Three of Swords in the bottom of the deck.
You know what? Here's my take on it. I feel like this needs to happen.
Well, no shit.
Yeah.
Our victim mentality as a world needs to stop.
Yeah. We need to get the fuck over it. And I think that there's going to be a lot of people. And honestly, I feel like this is going to be for both sides. So if you feel like you are a victim and, oh, everything else is everybody else's fault and I'm just sitting here, you're going to have a rude awakening. A very rude awakening. You're gonna think up to this point that, oh, I'm right, but you're gonna have a really rude awakening. And for the people that are like, no, you got to do it yourself, and you got to like get out of that, dig yourself out of the hole and rah, go. I think they're also going to have a rude awakening. They're going to be like, I don't want to have to depend on anybody else. I don't want to have to build with the community and say, okay, let's all come together. Well, you're going to have to. So I think that the victim players over here, they're going to have to like pull up their own damn bootstraps. And the people that are more like, who cares? I'm moving on without you. Slow the fuck down. Like, we are all having to collectively go, hey, how do we get ourselves out of this shit that we're in?
And I think you're right. Somebody said something to me the other day because we were talking about Biden bucks. And I was like, oh, looks like some more Biden bucks are coming out. Bucks. And which is keeping the victim mentality. Mm-hmm. And they were so mad, and they were just like, nobody cares about me. I gotta take care of my own stuff and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, that's true. Kinda do. But, like, they just kind of want to walk away and not think about the people that are in that victim mentality. And she's right. We have to start working on this. Like, we're all going to have to work together to get out of this, or not die in apocalypse. We'll see. But like we have to come to this.
To share resources. Like,
yeah.
Say the apocalypse does happen, or say the entire like grid gets shut down, which is, watching the suspicious observers, and then also watching, rewatching David's thing. The grid might get shut down. Not might. It probably will. If we have just the strong enough little solar flare and a weak enough electromagnetic field, the grid's going to get shut down. That means money doesn't exist anymore. Mm-hmm. It's whatever you have on you. It's whatever resources you have. So if you have a farm and you've got food and you could feed people, well, be prepared. You may have to work with somebody who can provide some kind of transportation or bring you water or something like that. Like those, we're going to have to start thinking like that.
And
so and that's like, end of the world type of stuff. It may be something like where...
But even just for a few days, so I will say this, like when we had the snowpocalypse here in Texas.
Yeah, that was pretty scary. People died.
It was scary.
We live in the modern society and people died from that.
I will have to say though, I was also very impressed. People that I thought that were very egotistical and only cared about themselves actually got out and helped people, like, all around town. And I was like, really? Like, I'm impressed. That's awesome.
Where we need to be.
And that's where we need to be. And people that I thought would be out there doing stuff weren't. And I was like, we almost need some kind of break to have us all start learning how to work together, because eventually I think that's all we're going to have is communities.
Yeah, we are coming into the age of Aquarius, and we have to work together as a community. Nobody's going to sit here and save all of it. There is no savior. There is no, it's not, oh, this thing's going to come down from the sky and save us all. No, you got to work with people, whether you like it or not. And I don't want to. I want to go and sit up in a mountain and read books and sit by a fire and be like, peace out. But it's
not how it's going to be.
It's not how it's going to be. People need each other.
Yeah. When you probably wouldn't survive that way anyway.
Yeah, no, I'd run out of shit, and then I'd get lonely, and I'd be like, hello? Does anybody want to come hang out?
Yeah. Christ frequency, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Share your shit.
Share your shit. Own your shit, too.
Own it. Own it. Live in your truth, man. If you're not living in your truth right now, you are doing the entire planet a disservice, because we all need to be on that higher vibration, that higher frequency. That cannot be stressed enough. What's the frequency, Kenneth?
Did you say it last week, too?
What's the frequency, Kenneth?
But she's right. Like, especially after that QHHT I had, it was like, we all have to be at this higher frequency, because if you ain't, you might miss the train.
You don't want to miss the train.
Toot toot.
I knew she was going to do that too. Toot toot.
Yeah. All right. That's it.
And do we have any channeled?
I feel like that was very channeled.
Okay. I was like, I feel like that was a little bit channeled, but I don't want to step over it.
No, I think I'm really kind of liking the one person tarot and the other person kind of channel. I'm really liking that. Screw the royal jelly. We are the royal jelly.
You are the lottery. That was.
You are the lottery. That's what you got channeled.
That's what I got. So
I'm gonna win the lottery. She is the lottery.
She's gonna win the lottery.
Oh wait, did I win you? No, they told me Powerball.
Aw, cute. But no, I was like, can I like win the lottery so I can like just do my art, do what I want? And they were like, you are the lottery. And I took that as, it does not matter what comes and goes materialistically, energetically, as long as I am here in this realm, in this body, and I have this mind in my heart, I have the ability to manifest anything that I need. If I need food, I can manifest that. If I need money or some kind of currency, I can manifest that. If I need a better situation, I am the creator of my world, and
we all are.
We all are.
Mm-hmm.
And that individual message, it was like, oh, I gotta go out and tell everybody.
Yeah.
You are your own lottery. Like, you can have all of the things that you want. You just have to believe that you deserve it.
And with that said, I had told her earlier that the number 444 came up, and my daughter saw it, and she was like, oh, I gotta make a wish. And she goes, that's weird. I just wish, what does poverty mean? I was like, poverty means poor. And she's like, why did I ask myself? She's like, myself said, I wish I was
you
in
should
poverty.
ask to be poverty.
No, I just said, I wish you were in
poverty.
You were in poverty.
Yeah.
And she was like, that's weird. Why did that? And I was like, scratch that. Just say nope. And continue on with a different wish. And what's interesting is I've been having in my meditations, because I get, messages too, and it'll be weird stuff like hate da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, what? And I'm wondering if it's like, because there's this collective lower vibration, that's where these kind of like lower messages are coming from. Because again, I don't believe in demons or devils or anything like that.
I think it's because there's so many people awakening and there's so much light work being done. There has to be a balance. So
Right.
the darker or the lower frequencies are like, we gotta fight back, we gotta survive this, we gotta stay in the game. And so we're getting pinged with all this lower vibrational energy.
By the way, that does not mean there's demons. I just got to say that because a lot of
Well,
people think that there's demons.
A demon is a manifestation of a lower frequency that somebody has that they're creating within their reality. That's all that a demon is. If you want to call a lower frequency a demon, then guess what? It's real.
I mean, yeah,
if
you
you
can make anything real that you want.
You can make anything real, and that's what they're doing. I can be walking around my house in the complete darkness, and I'm just fine. If I start thinking about what's in the corner, what's behind me, oh, I get freaked out real fast, and then I gotta run, and I swear to God, it touched me. Oh, that happens with everybody. But why? Because you let your mind go there and create it.
Yeah.
So don't manifest that shit. If somebody's like, no, it's a demon. Well, you manifested that shit.
But anyway, I think it's a lot of the world is just
Yeah.
So careful with
But
your
a lot of
thoughts.
us are waking up too.
Right, but even like that's what I was saying, like even as an awakened person, I still get, random thoughts. The best thing you can do is just nix it out real quick and be like, nope, I'm of a higher vibration. Bitch,
Well, and
get away.
that's your mind and your ego just going like, because the ego wants to survive. The darkness wants to survive.
That's what I meant by demons.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everything that's usually shit like that is your ego.
Well, the light will always be there.
Yeah, but so will your ego.
The darkness.
Your ego's not going away.
Darkness
just
like,
so you
I don't
know.
want to go away. And the light's like, well, I'm going to just be here and do my thing and live in my truth. And the darkness is like, I don't want to be here too.
Yeah. And it will, and then you get pissed
that's
off,
fine.
and the ego's like, "Sweet, I get a chance." For you, haha.
It's
And
so
then you're
like,
no, wait, I'm a light worker.
it's so funny that it's like Scorpio and like Capricorn. That's like, and Saturn. Like that's like the depths and the darker, underneath the underbelly and the ego, lower vibration. I shouldn't say Scorpio lower vibration, but like.
None of them are lower vibrations, but they are egotistical.
Well, it's like
types.
Capricorn rules like the underworld and like the devil and all that. But it's more like that's the structure. That's the the shit you don't want to have to do, but you have to do it.
Dude, we would not be able to have the world we have without Capricorns, though. Those fuckers work.
For real, and that's all that this has been lately. Is just all Capricorn.
But they're workers, man.
Yeah. They are. And
if they get a reward, though, they won't work for nothing. It's so true, though. Like, they're like, they love money. They love material stuff.
They do. I know some Capricorns, though, that are extremely martyrsome, and they'll be like, look at all that I've done, though. And it's like,
no, yeah, they want praise too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But they also want.
Yeah. Eventually, you gotta acknowledge them. Look how feisty their hidden emotions.
Everything for you.
I did everything.
Yes, I'm mostly
Catching the Cappies.
I'm mostly talking about my son's a Capricorn.
I'm one of the ladies that I hung out with this weekend. She's Capricorn, and like,
I've never met a woman Capricorn.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yes, I have. My best friend was one.
Yeah,
I mean, is one. She's still here.
She's still with us.
Yeah, and she was like that too. Interesting. Yeah. All right, I think we're
cool.
good.
All right, so we look forward to hearing your thoughts, your comments. Find us on Instagram. We still don't have a Facebook because I haven't made that yet. But we are on Instagram, Honey Be Awakened. And just go ahead and subscribe and like this video if you did. And then we can... What's that? What does it say? Oh, it's flashing. It's fine. I was like, oh, shit.
What did she say?
What did she
Your
say?
face is like this. Yeah. Close up of the lips.
So
and I won't be here next week unless I come live on your phone or something, but we'll see.
Yeah, we could do a test run. We could try it out.
Oh, maybe. I mean, I might be abducted at that point.
Yeah, you're going to be in alien land, so... Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about your picture.
I think that should maybe be a separate video.
Why don't we do a post? So if you guys want to hear about the experience that...
If you want to see a video of my proof of aliens with pictures and like actual footage of a video during my meditation, comment down below.
Yeah.
And then we'll...
Comment. We'll
put it out there.
Come up with some kind of video or...
We'll put it somehow together where it's like the video and then the picture and then like the orb and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
Scared the bejesus out of me.
And it happens to me all the time. I'm like, oh, yep, that's nothing new. I don't know why I decided to take a video that day of it.
I honestly don't think they're going to let us see them that in depth though anymore. Because they don't exist in this realm. They're not supposed to be seen in this realm, which is why we haven't seen them here.
Well, Greer puts up pictures all the time.
Well, we're only supposed to I think we're only supposed to channel them. We're only supposed to recognize them through our, different acts that we do, not necessarily like see them physically. Can you imagine if old dude showed up right now?
What a bank.
Hell no. We'd be scared out of our fucking
And
minds.
our guest today is an Arcturian. So, he's a little big.
And that was so loud. I was like, what the hell is that? Arcturian. Okay, it's Arctur. I was like, what the... I was like, oh yeah, I've heard that word before.
Yep, you're going to have to comment down below if you want to see that.
Quite interesting.
It's all good.
Okay. Alrighty.
Bye. Namaste,
Yay,
motherfuckers.
namaste, motherfuckers. We love you all. Mwah.